Yo guys, what's going on? This is Jack2505 and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Operations Endgame PvE mode in Warhammer Space Marine 2. First of all, I suggest completing the campaign first before doing the operations so you can get the hang of the game and the way the combat works and how it flows. Now don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and the rest of my socials. Space Marine 2 is looking to be a major part of this channel. Right now, I have a level 14 sniper and running through substantial difficulty now. And now we're going to just discuss how operations works. Operations has 6 chapters for you to tackle at launch. Operations, it works similar to games such as Eddie's Fireteam Elite, World War Z with a bit of Gears of War look, minus the cover shooting of course. You go through the missions, fighting enemies, holding and defending areas, detonating bridges, and widespread areas to stop and slow down the enemies. Now, depending on the difficulty, you may encounter some mini bosses along the way, and some operations will have tough boss encounters for you to tackle at the end. There are 4 levels of difficulty: minimal, average, substantial, and ruthless. I highly recommend starting at minimal first to get the hang of the game, such as the combat, as I mentioned before, the blocking, the parry, the dodging, which are key elements of this game, as well as, of course, the executions. There's no friendly fire in this game, thank God. There are 6 classes to choose from: Tactical, Assault, Vanguard, Bulwark, Sniper, and Heavy. During the campaign, you'll have a few opportunities to use parts of each class. So by now, you probably have made up your mind of who you're going to use. There are no duplicate classes in Operations. So I decided to start with a Sniper because Sniper classes, they can be tough to level, and I wanted to get it, no, I don't want to say over and done with, but I just wanted to tackle what seemed to be like the more difficult one first, so I can move to the more melee classes later. Also, sniper classes in high difficulties are always very useful. However, I will cover and max out all classes, so watch this space. Next is a weapon and perk upgrades. Space Marine 2 introduces you to a weapon mastery system in which you use the weapon to level it up at first, and by doing so, for example with the sniper rifle and the laser rifle, you upgrade the gun for extra damage, increased stability, ammo capacity, etc. And to progress to the next level, you have to collect crafted material in this specific operation that you're in. Now, the perk tree is pretty typical of what you get in most shooters. As you level through, you unlock the perk tree, you select the perks that suits your playstyle and loadout. This consists of core perks, team perks, gear perks, and signature perks. So far, my sniper has unlocked some game-changing perks that I will discuss in my future sniper maxed out video. Each class will have a trial. Trials gives you the chance to earn like more points for gear, weapon upgrades, and points for customization as well. You should definitely give trials a go. There are 3 trials per class. I'm guessing this will probably increase over time with updates, and hopefully there'll be like a daily or weekly reset for the points available in trials. Otherwise, it's just a one and done, which I think will be a shame, because it's an excellent way to practice and get the hang of your selected class. Customization of your class, which I know for a lot of people who are in love with the Warhammer franchise and the lore, are really looking forward to this. So you can use your hard-earned points if you want, customizing your character any way you like with so many different combinations, patterns, colors, like attachments. And I know the Warhammer lore goes deep with the different legions and chapters, and I'm learning all this myself as I go. And I'm not really much of a customization guy, but this game actually makes me want to do it because it looks so good. Operations also has text chat for PC players, which is great, and voice support, I'm sure, for the console players. Fantastic for communication and tactics, and for laughs, and for team building. I'm happy that Space Marine 2 has decided to include, in particular, text chat, whilst other so-called co-op PvE games do not include it and don't even include voice chat in a co-op game, which is baffling to me. But I'm happy that Space Marine 2 has decided to include it, which is great. Matchmaking for me so far has been good, very quick, You select the mission, the difficulty, you find players pretty quickly, you dive into the mission, and we're ready to go. That's pretty good for early access. And there's more players to come, obviously, from the night. There has been some disconnects and some infinite black screens when you're returning from a victorious mission, but when that happens, you'll have to just basically restart the game. A patch is coming on launch day, so hopefully this will sort out some of the performance and server stability issues. I've been waiting for Space Marine 2 to come out for a long time, just like a lot of people. One of the main things that drew me to this kind of game is obviously the way it looks, the action, the combat. Now, the combat in this game is extremely unique with the blocking, the dodging, the parrying, and then the executing, and then that satisfaction when you blocked or parried someone, in particular one of the bigger bosses, and then you just get that target and you just headshot them. Also, the weight of the characters as well. I understand there is some feedback where maybe the characters a little bit too heavy, a little bit too mechy, but for me the bigger the better. I just think the characters they look and sound good. There's impact because recently I was playing First Descendant. With First Descendant is a decent game, but at times I just felt that just throwing water at someone and flame and the melee in that game and other stuff, there's no weight to it. There's no impact. I mean, this game has got a ton of weight, a ton of impact, and it's got that sort of gameplay loop where, you know, I could do this all day. Not many games have that kind of impact on a player. In particular, like I said, with a lot of the combat and the gunplay as well. The gunplay is tight. I haven't played any PvP yet. That's not really something I'm probably gonna dive into that much, but I will give it a try. But the gunplay in this game is it's crisp, it's sharp, it works properly, is really good. And also I've done a video a week or so ago about future content, the year one battle plan, which is looking good, but this is what this is what we've got as a base game with a campaign, which was good, medium and sweet. I'm not gonna say short and sweet, medium and sweet. Wasn't too long, wasn't too short. For me, it was the right length. As well as the operations, we'll be getting more and more on top of that, as well as more updates and improvements on the PvP. Also, just to let you know, I am a CD Keys affiliate. So there is a link in the description box. So if you've not bought, I was going to say Helldivers, if you've not bought Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, make sure to use that link and get yourself the game for cheap. I use CD Keys all the time for my PC game purchases, and it's an absolute money saver. So no buying it directly through Steam or Xbox or PlayStation. Get yourself over to CD Keys and get yourself Space Marine 2 for a lot cheaper than it will be from your direct stores. Also, I think it's been a decent launch as well. None of this at capacity crap like it was at Helldivers 2. You could get in the game, play your campaign. There's also like an offline mode. Also with this game, performance has been an issue. I understand that at times I've had to put my textures down to low. But what I've done, I put my textures back up to like medium and high, but then put the performance to like balanced or performance in that sort of wheelhouse. Also, the weapon mastery and deep customization with the look of your Ultramarines. One of the things this game has done very well, something that I've always campaigned for in PvE games, is this: always encourage the player to do better. Always encourage the player to say, I want to go for that difficulty. I want to make things harder. I want to turn the heat up. Because in order to fully master your weapon, you have to go into the hardest difficulties in this game. Now, I understand there'd be players out there who would just farm the first level over and over again of that particular difficulty. However, I would rather players do that rather than shy away from difficult content because there's no reason for them to go in there. So what the developers have done, they have encouraged the players to keep playing, keep customizing, and keep increasing the difficulty in order to master their weapons. Other companies, publishers, devs, take note of this. You're not going to hear many players saying it's not worth doing the higher difficulties in this game. It's because they've been encouraged to do it because of the reward system. This is an excellent game. This is the best game I've bought in years. This game was needed for the industry. And trust me, for some of you guys who've been following me for a while, and some of the games that I've covered on Twitch and YouTube, and many games that's been talked about over the years, in particular, probably like since 2020 and earlier this year. I mean, look, we did have Helldivers 2, which was, which is still a great game. I've got my own issues with that, as well as the absolute disaster of Suicide Squad and Avengers and all these other games. We needed a game like this, a game with a massive fan base, with rich lore, great graphics, great gameplay, a good campaign, and a good future content to come, as well as a good solid base of a game. I'll be looking to cover this game a lot on this channel, and thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. My name is Jack2505, and I'll see you in the next video.